Hey everyone, this is Austin. I am at Carriage Kia of Woodstock here in Woodstock, Georgia, and this is going to be the brand new 2021 Kia K5. This replaces the Optima in our mid-size sedans lineup, and this example is actually going to be in wolf gray. It is a GT line, and I'm about to take you through this beautiful machine. So without further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, this is all new for 2021, brand new design language from Kia. You have this headlight design, which Kia actually coins as the heartbeat design in the headlight. On every model except for the GT, which is the flagship trim level, you will have reflector LED headlights with auto high beam assist. You do have this shark skin grille that actually wraps into the headlight itself. And then this is a GT line, so because of that, it's really hard to tell, and I actually like that. But you do have projector beam LED fog lights here. Looks really sharp, very handsome, gorgeous, gorgeous design. You do have gloss black, of course, in the front. You have gloss black that wraps its way around into the front of the grille. Kia badge is the same. They haven't changed that yet. And then you do have your reflector badging here. Since I'm close enough up front, I will let you know these are 18-inch wheels. You do have a 19-inch wheel that will be offered on the flagship GT trim, which is not in dealerships yet. It'll actually be here at the end of fall. So, or that's the time frame that Kia is saying that production will be up and running for the GT trim, okay? Now, a little history on this model. It is actually designed in relevance to the Kia Stinger. They took the fastback design, they took a lot of design elements on the interior of the Stinger and brought it to this vehicle. Now, in addition to that, powertrains are all new for 2021. This has a 1.6 liter turbo 4, puts out 180 horsepower and 195 foot-pounds of torque through an all-new 8-speed automatic transmission. It is an in-house transmission through the Kia Hyundai Group, okay? This color is also brand new to Kia. They offer it on the Telluride now for 2021, but they also have it here on the K5. It is called Wolf Gray, very similar to ceramic silver on the Kia Stinger. It's absolutely beautiful, especially if you're familiar with Nardo Gray from Audi, Lamborghini, Porsche, etc. Absolutely gorgeous color. Now, getting to the side profile of this car, it is a true kind of fastback shape, so it's got that coupe-like appearance. It is not a liftback, so the trunk is actually a legitimate trunk, an opening trunk, not an actual hatchback, okay? You do have the sloped roof line, of course. Everything flows together well. You see that the chrome trimming on the outside actually extends into the rear. That kind of cuts off the roof from the body, so it gives it a floating roof kind of detail. It's very, very sharp. I love it, absolutely love it. These wheels, two-tone wheels on the GT line, they look absolutely amazing. Make note that on the GT line trim and the LXS, you can get all-wheel drive as an option. That is the first for any Kia sedan as well, outside of the K900, which comes standard with all-wheel drive. Now, this one is fresh off the truck, hence why it has these protectors there on the door. So, and then of course, keyless entry, of course, you have on there. Black mirror caps because this is a GT line, and yes, you do have LED indicators that are built into the unit as well. You can see a little bit how the headlight actually gravitates into this line that just flows through the car. Absolutely stunning. Now, as we make our way to the rear of the vehicle, because this is a GT line, you do get full LED taillights. You do have this same heartbeat design in the rear, and you see it's dashed. Very similar to an EKG heart graph reading, okay? Again, Kia coins this as the heartbeat lighting of the vehicle, okay? Got your indicators, you got your reverse lights, okay? You do have this black spoiler, gloss black. It looks so sharp on the car, again, because it is a GT line, okay? You will have these faux exhaust pipes, or outlets rather. They are fake, but as far as design-wise, it looks so good. And of course, you've got this aggressive rear diffuser here as well. Again, going with the GT lineage for our cars. It's supposed to be a sports sedan now. Kia's really going after an athletic appearance with these cars, and it's working so well. everybody who has seen this car has unanimously said that this car is legitimately gorgeous. And I could be biased because I work for Kia, but I do think they just hit a home run with this car. So like I said, it is a traditional trunk. You do have a smart trunk, so you just have to walk up to the rear of the vehicle when it's locked with the key. Of course the key's in my pocket, but I did open it with a button, but it'll actually unlatch the trunk for you and it'll actually spring itself open. The rear seats do fold flat, and then this specific one just has some accessories like floor mats, cargo net. Every K5 will come standard with a spare tire, so make note of that, including the GT. All right. One thing I do like about the rear of this vehicle that they integrated so well is the backup camera. A lot of cars try to put it next to the badging of the vehicle, or they kind of build it into the spoiler, but they build it into the underside of the taillight unit, and I think that is so sharp. They ace that. It looks beautiful. So, and then you do have some stylistic features here. So these are just some fake vents there, more of a stylistic thing, but it still works really well. Even if it's fake, I don't care. Not a lot of people are going to care anyways. It looks really nice. Other things to make note is that the chrome trimming actually wraps around the rear of the car. So the whole top half of the car appears to be a separate piece from the main body of the vehicle, and I think that is one of the coolest design elements I've ever seen. They could have stopped it right here and just made this a standard trunk, but no, they continued it all the way around and it looks fantastic. So we've already looked at the outside of the car. Let's take a look on the inside. So getting into the K5, so obviously this one just got off the truck, so you have a lot of protective material on it. But one thing you notice is how well everything feels, how high quality. This is a GT line, so the steering wheel is actually going to be a flat bottom D-cut steering wheel, but the steering wheel is wrapped in leather. You do have this shift lever that is supposed to mimic airplane throttle levers, which is incredibly cool. I find that to be super fascinating. Then down here you do have your drive mode selector button, which if you press that, then it shows up here and up here. So you got smart, you have normal, you do have sport, and you do have custom. So what smart mode is going to do is it's going to mimic how you drive over the period of a certain time frame. The car is going to change the way it reacts to you depending on how you drive. If you put it in normal mode, it's a neutral mode for the car. Sport mode, it'll actually make the steering heavier, give you sharper throttle response, and if you are going to use the manual shifting, this one does not have paddle shifters, but if you use the manual shifting, then it will shift in a more aggressive manner, which is actually really fun through all 8 gears, which is really nice. Okay, now other things to make note: if you put it in custom mode, you can hit settings, and when you see custom mode, what you can do is you can edit the powertrain or the steering to whatever you want. So if you want the powertrain to be normal and you want it to be kind of calm and collected, you can do that. But if you like the heavy steering from sport mode, you can do that. You can tap that, and now every time you put the car in custom mode, it'll have the powertrain in a more normal neutral setting, but the steering will be a very aggressive heavy setting. Okay, now let's talk about this infotainment system real quick. So this is a new infotainment system from Kia. This is an 8-inch touchscreen, but it is very capable in what it can do. You do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. I know it's kind of hard to see because of this little piece here. Try to see if I can get it. There we go. All right, a lot of glare is taken off there. But yeah, so Android Auto, Apple CarPlay does come standard in every K5. It is a wireless system if you choose the 8-inch screen. If you get the 10.25-inch screen on the higher trim levels like the EX Premium or the GT models, it will be a wired system, just because this 8-inch screen is actually a new system altogether. The 10.25-inch screen is actually a system that's already used currently by the Telluride and other Kia models. Down here, you have dual zone climate controls, which is standard on every K5. Of course, you got your standard fan speeds, defrosters, off button, AC, I mean, wherever you get the air. Down here, you do have a storage cubby. You've got your USB port there. You got your fast charging USB, and then of course your 12-volt outlet. Things that you do get in a K5, you have your electronic parking brake, which is nifty, and then you have auto hold, which is usually found on luxury manufacturers. But what this does is you press this while you're in drive, and it'll actually hold the brake for you if you're at a stoplight, drive through, whatever have you, so that way you don't have to keep your foot on the brake pedal. Okay, I think it's very useful, especially if you're in a long drive through. You don't want to keep holding your foot on the brake. It's really annoying, really tedious. Now, of course, you do have cup holders in the middle. You do have slightly smaller cup holders in here for like small water bottles, etc. But it's still nifty. Now, talk about switchgear here. So, automatic headlights with auto high beam assist. Of course, that is standard. Now, one thing to make note is that some of the switchgear is brand new for 2021, like the headlight stock, windshield wiper stock, steering wheel layout is all brand new. Now, something that is really brand new, and it's the first car that I know of that has this, but this is obviously the cruise control, but it's one-touch cruise control. So if you're at a certain speed that you want, just press it once and it's set. You don't have to press like cruise control and then like press one of these buttons to set it and whatever. It just takes that middleman step out. Just one touch cruise control. I absolutely love it. Another thing that I like that Hyundai and Kia does is anytime that you adjust your headlights or your windshield wipers, it shows up in this screen in the middle. And I absolutely love that. Okay, I think it's one of the most useful things to ever come in a car, and I'm so happy that they do this. Okay, you go through this screen, you get your driver attention level, your warning systems. You can edit driver assistance, features, lights, door settings, sound convenience. You can still edit your service interval in these cars, which is really cool. So if you want to service it yourself, you can. Of course, theme selection, which is new. So you can do theme A, theme B, theme C, totally up to you. I mean, you can change whatever you want. And then, of course, digital speedometer, your tire pressure, standard features there. Make note, as far as safety features goes, it does have blind spot detection. You will have lane departure warning as well. You do have an automatic braking system in here, rear cross traffic alert, with brake assist as well. So, and then this vehicle does have an industry first leading car. What's the specific name for it? I'm actually going to look at the Maroni real quick because it leaves my head sometimes. So, where is it? Leading vehicle departure alert. Okay. So, one of the best things to ever come in any vehicle, leading vehicle departure warning. So let's just be honest. If you come to a red light, a lot of people will sit and look at their phone, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, you're like 5 car lengths behind the car in front of you. This car has a feature to where if you're at a red light and the light turns green, or if you're at a stop sign, whatever have you, and the car in front of you begins to go, it will literally give you an audible tone to let you know that that car is actually leaving. So that way you know, hey, let me start driving. How insane is that? Like, that's incredible. That's really, really cool. In addition to certain other features, you got safe exit assist. So if the blind spot detection actually detects a car coming from behind you while your car is parked, it'll actually lock all the doors to the vehicle so you can't actually exit and actually get hit and cause a collision. Absolutely amazing. Over here, of course, you got your standard switchgear, power mirrors, power door locks. I will say the finishes on these buttons are absolutely amazing. Definitely a step up from the outgoing model. I can tell there's a lot of Telluride influence when it comes to quality of parts in the vehicle. Trunk release button, fully telescopic steering wheel if you want it to be. Of course, you can turn the fog lights on and off. See what I mean? You got the auto high beam assist. And this is gloss black. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because it has a protective layer on it from the factory, but it is one piece that actually goes into the speedometer and tachometer, but it is a gloss black. You can see it here. Looks really nice, actually. It doesn't look cheap. Feels really good. The same materials used for these buttons, and it actually feels really, really good. So I'm impressed here. These seats themselves, again, it's got the protective covering, but it is a cloth and synthetic leather combination. Leather on the outside, the cloth on the inside. They feel very, very comfortable. Pretty good bolstering. Obviously, it's not a super sport sedan, but it does have really good bolstering for what you'd want, okay? And then as far as the dash goes, I love this layout, how it just tears a little bit, and then how this is angled so sharply so you have additional leg room here. This material is kind of like a metal kind of plastic finish, kind of an imitation metal finish, but it looks and feels really, really good. I think it just goes with the theme of this specific trim level, it being the GT line. So very well done from Kia on that. And the new design of the vents, I think it just looks really sharp, very well integrated, especially with the theme of the car. Again, just very simplistic yet very athletic in design. Push button start, of course, on this vehicle. I know I might have shown y'all the key fob earlier, but this is the new key fob for the K5. Looks very similar to the Kia Stingers and Kia Telluride's key fob, kind of a detonator look to it. The thing that is new is that you do have remote start on every trim level except the LX. So when the car is locked, you just press and hold, it starts the vehicle, and then it actually sets the climate controls to 72 degrees. You can't change that, but 72 degrees is more than comfortable, whether it's winter or summer. Fantastic. Well done, Kia. So very good job there. So let's hit the back seat and see what it looks like. So I'm getting into the back seat. And I will let you know that the front seat is actually where I would normally keep it. A lot of space back here and a lot of headroom. I was actually a little curious about that, considering it is a fastback. I am 5'9", and I would probably say that I have, not even exaggerating, a foot of headroom here. It's absolutely insane. So you do have, of course, the map light back here. You got your oh crap handles, standard switch gear, of course, up and down windows, or power windows rather. This is something I do like. Okay, you have two fast charge USB ports back here, and they are fast charged because they do have the battery with the lightning bolt in it. So whereas the other USB up there next to the fast charge was mostly just like a data transfer. So for mobile devices like smartphones, it'll charge pretty quick. If you're using a larger device like an iPad, computer, etc., it'll maintain a charge for you, which is really nice. So back here, same seat design. So leatherette with the cloth inserts. This is a full leatherette material. And then this, you got both cup holders. And then back here, just a plain plastic piece here. Okay, but don't forget, both seats fold down flat. Okay, so fold that back up. You can sit 3 people back here, 2 back here. So it is a fastback, but you do have 5 total occupants that you can seat. So there's a good view of the driver cockpit. And I want to make note real quick, everything regarding the infotainment system and the vents are actually angled towards the driver. Just something really cool to note about this car. So in saying that, really, really neat. And then lastly, let's take a peek under the trunk. So standard trunk gear, accessories, pull tabs. If you want to actually pull the trunk or pull the seats down, nothing particularly special here. Set that back down. And then just some small things. So this is actually push lid now, which is interesting. Very nice. And then, like I said, keyless entry. And then up front here, one more time so you can get a good feel for it. And now, last but not least, let's take a look under the hood to see what is powering this car. So underneath here, it is a 1.6 turbocharged 4-cylinder, 180 horsepower and 195 foot-pounds of torque. Does run on regular gas. And make note also that this is actually a brand new engine. Yes, the old or the outgoing Optima had a 1.6, but this engine is actually all brand new from the ground up. So produces the same amount of power, but you get better fuel economy. Okay, everything underneath here is standard gear. I'm gonna turn the car off real quick. so that way we can get a better view of everything under the hood. So everything is still super easy to access. Turbo Smart Stream, that is their new branding for their engines. All the clear containers are still very, very visible, so that way you know how to access everything. And yes, this car still has an engine oil dipstick. Absolutely amazing that cars today still have that. Hyundai and Kia do a really good job of that. So a lot of room in here as well. So very easy to work on, but everything is completely accessible, and the car is just tremendously quiet as is. Okay, battery's still in an area where easily accessible, so still pretty neat. And make note that you do have 2 power hood struts now for both sides, which is actually really neat instead of a hood prop. So that's just another feature that just gives you kind of a premium feeling on the car. So now I'm actually going to take this thing for a drive. Okay, so we're inside the all-new 2021 Kia K5. We are going to take this one for a spin. It is a 1.6 turbo vehicle. So first thing that I'm going to notice is how quiet it is in this vehicle. And I think that goes in part with the fact that Kia uses an acoustic laminate windshield. Something that you'll usually find on high-end cars, but Kia has it on here. Right off the bat, I already feel the transmission's very responsive. The engine is very, very punchy. Very quiet. The brakes are smooth. Seatbelt. Car's yelling at you, man.
Putting it on right now.
Hey, safety is key. So right now I'm gonna put it in sport mode just to kind of punch it a little bit here, just to see how it feels. It definitely has some get up and go, especially for the kind of power that this car has. And because they've gone with lighter materials in the vehicle, the power to weight ratio is better, and I can definitely feel that in the car, especially versus the outgoing model. I'm absolutely in love with the way that the steering feels. It is very direct, especially in sport mode. Perfect amount of weight to it, perfect thickness of the steering wheel. And honestly, I mean, I don't think they could have done better with the way that this thing handles so far. I'm gonna take it through the shopping center, and then there's a fun little curvy road that comes out of it. I'm gonna take you through there. Plus, I know there's gonna be a lot of people who don't know what this car is, and they're gonna be looking at it from all angles. And nothing feels better than everybody looking at you from all angles.
All eyes on us.
All eyes on us. This got to be probably the single hottest sedan to come out this year, if not the past.
Hands down.
Hands down. So nobody knows what it is because it looks so distinctive. I mean, this thing is just, oh yeah, already catching that's nice. Already catching people staring at the car.
Yep. I know you want one.
I know. That's the cool thing, especially in this color, the wolf gray.
Oh.
It's such an exotic color. It looks like Nardo gray from Audi or Porsche, Lamborghini. But the car on the outside is just so exotic.
Gorgeous.
So, yeah, so far I've noticed this car is extremely comfortable. And it's very, very flat. Obviously, I'm not going too fast on any of these turns or anything like that. But this thing is so flat. It's very direct, no matter what aspect you look at. Eats up bumps, and it's so quiet in here. Like, it's actually very, very quiet. The loudest thing in here are the fans. And us. But outside of that, I'm waiting until this Jeep in front of us moves out the way. And another thing, because this car is obviously supposed to drive in people who are car enthusiasts, the driving position of this car is excellent. There's a lot of view with the windshield. It's very wide in terms of view. The rear, because it is a fastback, it is a little smaller in terms of visibility, but I still have no problems in terms of seeing what's around me. Oh my goodness, the steering is so direct, it's insane.
Whee!
Yeah, this thing is so fun.
It
so
purrs.
punchy.
The engine purrs.
It honestly sounds good. Oh my god, the steering. This car is so flat in the
Oh my
corners.
goodness.
That's insane. This car is actually really, really athletic. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. This car feels really good. Holy cow. The brakes are actually very good too. Not much in terms of fade so far. Oh, they're so smooth. Holy cow. What is that? Looks like some old
Popcorn.
food. Yeah. This thing is honestly very, very nice. Very smooth. The transmission, you don't even feel it. It honestly feels like a dual clutch, which is a very good compliment, I will say. I'm going to put it in normal mode again. The steering is very direct. I have no complaints there. Outside of that, I mean, it definitely feels good all the way around. All the materials are just soft touch. It's very quiet on the inside as well, and there's so much space in here. I've got a lot of headroom. I've got a lot of foot room. As y'all saw with the leg room when I sat in the back, there's more than enough to go around. I'm just absolutely impressed with the way that they created this vehicle from the ground.